Hello and welcome everyone on this official platform of Legacy IAS Academy. So आज एक बहुत बड़ी न्यूज आ रही है that is related to again the Middle East, and the most important issue here is Israel and Hamas issue. Now the headlines, as you can see here, Hamas offers to release all remaining hostages for permanent Gaza ceasefire. Now, a bold offer, a dangerous impasse, and a question that the world cannot ignore. Could this be the turning point in one of the most brutal wars of our time? As bombs continue to fall on Gaza, the cries for peace, it grows louder across the globe. So this can be considered as a dramatic shift which has emerged from the shadows. Yes, Hamas has offered to release every remaining hostages, but with a catch that could shake the foundations of the Middle East diplomacy. Do you think that is this a genuine path to peace, or just another move in a deadly game of political chess in the Middle East? What does this mean for Israel, for Palestine, and for millions who caught in this crossfire? So today we are diving deep into the story that's unfolding in real time. What every statement, every negotiation, and every silence could decide life or death, war or peace. So stay till the end, because what happens next could affect not just the Middle East but the entire world. जी हाँ. सो कॉन्टेक्स्ट क्या है इस न्यूज का, तो मैं आपको थोड़ा कॉन्टेक्स्ट बता देता हूं. दैट द कॉन्टेक्स्ट हियर इज Hamas, which is a Palestinian group, has made a new offer. That means they are ready to release all the remaining Israeli hostages that they are holding if Israel agrees to several terms and condition. अब वो terms and condition क्या है? There should be permanent ceasefire, that means end of Gaza war. जी हाँ. दूसरा, second, release Palestinian prisoners in Israeli jails. And third, help in rebuilding Gaza. So these are three important conditions. Now, this offer was made by whom? This offer was made by Khalil al-Hayya. खलील अल हय्या, ये ऑफर किसने बनाया हुआ है आप देख सकते हैं, खलील अल हय्या. नाउ खलील अल हय्या इज अ हमास लीडर हु वाज इन्वॉल्व्ड इन द सीज फायर टॉक्स. सो खलील अल हय्या ही हैं जो सीज फायर टॉक्स में इन्वॉल्व है. और खलील अल हय्या साहब ने कहा दैट Hamas will not accept the temporary or interim deals anymore, which Israel is unlikely to accept. So Al-Hayya also accused Israeli Prime Minister, इन्होंने इजरायली प्राइम मिनिस्टर को भी एक्यूज किया, whose name is Benjamin Netanyahu, of using the partial deals to keep the war going. है ना? That is why he accused the Israeli Prime Minister, that is Benjamin Netanyahu, that he is using the partial deals to keep the war going. And he also said that Netanyahu is ready to sacrifice the hostages to continue a war that causes the extermination as well as starvation. So ceasefire talks are happening again in Cairo, that is in Egypt, but the latest round of the talks on Monday, no exact date is given, ended without the success. जो अभी मंडे को हुई थी, कोई इसकी एग्जैक्ट डेट नहीं दी गई है, बट दैट एंडेड विदाउट एनी सक्सेस, है ना. नाउ सो इजिप्शियन मीडिएटर्स जो हैं, दे आर स्टिल ट्राइंग टू रिवाइव द अर्लियर सीज फायर, कि किसी तरीके से इजिप्ट चाहता है किसी तरीके से जो पहले के सीज फायर उनको रिवाइव किया जा सके, which got ended in January 2024. And at that time Israel had offered a 45-day truce, है ना. सो सीज फायर फिर से हो रहे हैं कैरो में, सीज फायर की बातें फिर से चल रही है, और इजिप्ट पूरी तरीके से मीडिएट करने की कोशिश कर रहा है जो पहले की सीज फायर प्रोविजंस थे, लाइक इजराइल हैड ऑफर्ड दी 45-day ट्रूस, है ना। अब इसमें क्या था, इन दिस कहा गया था, इन दिस देयर वर सम प्रोविजंस दैट इट इज गोइंग टू अलाउ सम हॉस्टेजेस टू रिलीज. Now, with this truce, they are going to start indirect talks so that they can end this war. But Hamas rejected a key condition that they lay down their weapons. Hamas ने एक चीज के लिए मना कर दिया था, that अब ये इसलिए Hamas ने रिजेक्ट किया था क्योंकि Hamas से कहा जा रहा था अब आप वेपन्स बिल्कुल भी ले डाउन कर दीजिए. Hamas इस कंडीशन के लिए बिल्कुल भी तैयार नहीं था. That is why Al-Hayya called Israel's counter offer impossible. Al-Hayya इसीलिए कह रहे हैं कि ये जो इजराइल का काउंटर ऑफर है that is impossible. And so far Hamas has released 38 hostages during the previous ceasefire deal. Previous ceasefire deal में अभी तक Hamas ने 38 hostages को रिलीज किया हुआ है. And that deal the deal has since expired and Israel resumed its ground and air attacks in Gaza region. And that is why in response to this, Hamas new offer, अब Hamas का new offer क्या आया है, तो इसके लिए मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूं. In this response, Hamas new offer, now जेम्स हिविट, है ना, Hamas ने जो नया ऑफर दिया उसके रेस्पॉन्स में अब आप एक स्टेटमेंट सुनिए जेम्स हिविट का. जेम्स हिविट, who is a spokesperson for US National Security Council, and he said that Hamas comments show that they do not want peace but want more violence, said by him. And he also said that Trump administration position has not changed, release the hostages or face hell as mentioned by Trump administration. तो ओवरऑल अगर आप देखें, Hamas want a permanent ceasefire and other conditions in return for releasing all the prisoners, all the hostages. But Israel prefers a temporary deal and disarmament by Hamas, which Hamas rejected. So talks are ongoing but stuck. Clear? Now, these talks can have possible impact of, now these things can have possible impact of Hamas new offer, and the stalled ceasefire talks on the Middle East could have significant both politically as well as strategically impact also. अब इसके क्या आउटकम्स हो सकते हैं, सबसे बड़ी चीज है what can be the outcomes. Now what could be the outcomes? The first outcome could be further destabilization of Gaza and neighboring areas. Clear? First could be further destabilization of Gaza and other areas. Now, how further destabilization of Gaza and neighboring areas? If no ceasefire is agreed upon, then the conflict will continue. It can cause more death and destruction in Gaza. That is going to worsen the humanitarian crisis. Then border areas. Now border areas like Egypt, Lebanon, as you can see here, border areas of Gaza, Egypt, clear? Then Lebanon, so Jordan, all these things. So border areas of Egypt, Lebanon, Jordan, Israel, this could face more spillover violence, rocket attacks and refugee pressure. है ना? Second, the another outcome would be pressure on regional powers. कौन कौन से? Egypt, Qatar हो गया, ईरान हो गया. So pressure on regional powers like Egypt, है ना, Qatar, Iran, all these are important powers. How? Now if you see Egypt, so Egypt is a key mediator. Clear? Egypt is a key mediator which is under pressure to broker a deal to prevent the chaos on its border and refugees flows into the Sinai Peninsula. है ना? अब कतर कैसे? If you see the position of Qatar, Qatar actually supports Hamas diplomatically. it may face scrutiny or be forced to play a bigger diplomatic role. Then Iran also back Hamas. So Iran, a backer of Hamas, could gain or lose influence depending on how the war evolves and whether Hamas is seen as successful or cornered. Then third outcome could be it can strain the relations of Israel and Arab. So third outcome is strained Israel-Arab relations. Now, how strained Israel-Arab relations? So let me tell you, Arab countries that has normalized the relations with Israel like UAE, Bahrain and Morocco under the Abraham Accord, they may face domestic backlash. And these governments could slow or freeze deeper ties with Israel if the war continues. And the images of Gaza destruction, it can increase the public anger. Then apart from this, there can be shift in US and global policy. Another outcome, shift in US and global policy. Now, how shift in US and global policy? Now, US actually could face the criticism for backing the Israel unconditionally, and the countries in the region may demand more pressure on Israel for a ceasefire. And US allies like Jordan ho gaya, Saudi Arab ho gaya, it could increase calls for a two-state solution and more assertive diplomacy. Now, this could also have impact on Palestinian politics. Now, how it can impact Palestinian politics? Impact on Palestinian politics. Now, how it can impact Palestinian politics? So let me tell you, if Hamas is seen as successfully resisting Israel and securing the better terms like ceasefire, reconstruction, clear, or prisoner release, so its influence over Palestinian politics could rise and it can weaken the Palestinian Authority, that is PLA, in the West Bank area. On the other hand, if Hamas failed to secure a deal, then it could lose the support both within Gaza and across the region. Then apart from this, there is huge possibility of wider regional war. काफी ज्यादा possibility है for a regional war also. How? Because continued war raises the risk of direct involvement by the groups like Hezbollah, Lebanon, or militias in Iraq, Syria, and this can drag Israel and possibly the US into the multi-front hostilities. Then it could also have economic impact. Now, how economic impact? The most important region is Suez Canal. So ongoing conflict can increase the regional instability, and this can also spooking the investors as well as threatening trade routes like Red Sea, Suez Canal. As you can see here, oil markets could also react to broader regional tensions, particularly affecting the global energy prices with this. So overall, if you see this thing, so in this the fog of the war, the loudest sounds are often missiles and explosions, but sometimes it is like a single offer that echoes louder than all the bombs. And Hamas has laid its cards on the table. Israel is holding firm. So the mediators are running out of time, and the people also, they are still bleeding. So what we are witnessing is not just a negotiation. It is a battle of narratives. It is a battle of survival, of what the future holds for two people who lived too long in the shadow of the walls and the war. So now my question here is, will peace finally break through, or will the world once again watch another chance is buried beneath the rubble? So if this moved you, if this made you think, so don't scroll past. So share this video and start a conversation. Be a part of the global voice calling for peace, justice, and the future where no child is born into conflict. Because history is not just written by the leaders, it is shaped by those who refuse to look away. And if you found this video insightful and wants to stay updated on these stories that truly matters beyond the headlines, then hit a like button and don't forget to subscribe our channel Legacy IAS Academy, because we are building a global community that believes in informed conversations, powerful analysis, as well as truth without filters. So your support help us creating content that educates, empowers, and inspire. So join us, because every like, share, and subscription helps amplify the voices that need to be heard. Thank you so much.